What have you seen in the way people refer to God, or the way they relate to this term, God?
In many ways.
Yeah.
Anything specific you have in mind?
So can you share with us, like, in your experience, for the sake of zooming into what feels true, what is the most disturbing way that you've seen people speak of this that's unspeakable?
So generally, I think even just referring to that word God generally comes from a religious type of a background. So a lot of that is distorted. So many people will have a negative reaction to that word in itself, from what I see, including at times in my own life, which is understandable when one feels distortion in something.
Yeah. Could you tell us more about your experience with the way that you've experienced it for you, that maybe even that word itself starts to feel like distorted?
Well, people often speak of it as something that they relate to as a thing. So for me, that immediately feels disconnected, because it's not something that's relatable to, almost as if it's a thing.
Is there a way that you would describe what seems to be, yes, like indescribable, but how would you describe this God situation?
Well, if we're talking about the source that creates everything, there's no way we could talk about it, because we're in it. Once we have a definition for it or a belief about it, it's not that. In my experience, it has to be a realization perhaps even may come with the absurdity of, not the absurdity of what one experiences, but the realization of the absurdity that we think that our minds could comprehend what that is. And there could be well, on the positive side, there's the awe of that, On the other hand, it could be an anger at the distortion of it, a sadness, a grief for what was done with that word.
Do you feel there's a way for one who has maybe connected to, so to say, the concept of God, this, whatever this energy source, someone who has related to it more in a way of this abstract other thing, is there a way that this person might be able to access the reality of what you're attempting to describe as this? It feels maybe this experience more of this energy. How would someone begin to experience God, not from this abstract intellectual place where they place God into something else, into...
Well, at first you stop trying to understand it. There's a...
Yeah.
And perhaps there could be a relief in that.
Could you share more about that possible relief?
The relief could strangely be in realizing you can't know. And perhaps a sense of wonder. And perhaps ultimately awe.
And how would awe be differentiated for someone from fear? What's the difference between awe and fear?
Well, fear, in my opinion, has nothing to do with God, although it's in part of the creation of everything. It exists as something that we experience. But if it's used in any way, in my opinion, as something we need to fear, that's not it.
Would you say that it's even like almost the opposite of it? Like it's taking away from this experience of God, this feeling?
Yes.
And what would the awe experience be versus the fear? Like,
The awe would be in everything that exists. And how it exists. And how it is. And how it remains. And all the parts of it, the parts that we'll judge as good or bad, or things, all of it. May you all feel awe and peace. May everyone feel that always.
amen. Thank you very much.